Good SAT preparation requires a personal goal that you can stick to. It requires good SAT preparation requires support from the parents, not being overbearing. The parents providing the structure, parents providing the resources, and parents. I don't believe that parents can insist on students doing the work, but I do believe that parents can talk to their students about the importance of this test and the long-term impact it's going to have, and that students and parents should make their short-term decisions based on that long-term impact. So in summary, what I would suggest is begin the process early. Always better to be prepared before you need to be than to not have enough time to get prepared the way you need to be. Part of this preparation includes knowing exactly what's on the test and knowing precisely where you need the help. And this will necessarily involve doing more than just reading a list of concepts. You're actually going to have to dig into some practice questions or some math books, some vocabulary words, to see what your strengths and weaknesses are. Create both a long-term and short-term schedule for your preparation. If you don't know how to go about this, seek the assistance of somebody that does. Look into SAT prep and options that fit your needs and budget. And especially the SAT and the SAT preparation process are really two early markers of a high school student's readiness for college and readiness for the responsibilities of young adults. And I think what parents can really do to help the process is instead of bringing the typical parental pressure on students, let them know what it means to take ownership of this process, to be responsible and accountable to themselves for properly preparing themselves for the SAT.
Thank you so much for participating in today's webinar. Thank you so much, Scott. We really appreciate all your insights and tips here on the SAT. Just to recap about ACCI, our program includes career and aptitude analysis, SAT and ACT preparation, and like I mentioned before, we've partnered with Scott from Topstar Test Prep to offer our students additional SAT and ACT tutoring. We also assist in essay and application review, choosing a major, and excellent guidance. ACCI's programs offer descriptive scholarship and grant opportunities that are currently available. And what our goal is to match our students with valuable colleges and financial aid resources at a local, state, and national level. ACCI offers a great comprehensive college counseling program, and as a thank you for attending our webinar today, you will receive a 10% discount on our college counseling services. So please visit us at our website at www.askacci.com, or you can give us a call at the number listed for a free consultation. And remember to register for our next webinar on the college application tips on October 16th at 3:45 p.m. During the next 15 minutes, we're going to open up the floor for questions for Scott and myself. Please type in your questions in the question box, and we'll be more than happy to answer them for you. Thank you again. It's a good opportunity to ask us questions, so we're looking forward to hearing from you. When you ask the question, you can type it in and send it to everybody so everybody sees the question. Okay, so
first question we have is, do you recommend taking the PSAT? I absolutely recommend taking the PSAT for two reasons, or for a number of reasons. One, PSAT is typically taken by students in their junior year of high school in the fall of their junior year of high school. So a couple of things are going to happen if you take the PSAT. One, you're going to have started your SAT preparation process early, because you'll have presumably prepared for the PSAT. Two, the results of your PSAT are going to give you more or less a spot-on picture of exactly where you stand for the SAT. And you couldn't ask for a better self-assessment than an officially administered test that's designed to be the precursor to the actual SAT. There's other practical benefits. Doing well on the PSAT actually could result in direct scholarship offers. It can result in direct academic access. Like a high enough score in the PSAT could gain you entry into the National Junior Honor Society. Another feather in your cap for your college application. So for all of these reasons, I would say yes, absolutely. I do recommend taking PSAT in the first part of a student's junior year.
The other question, what are the best websites for test practice with outstanding amount of online data? Is there anyone that stands out? Well, what I mentioned during the presentation is that American College Counseling Inc., we offer SAT and ACT test prep online. We actually have a program that's broken up into a 20-week period where the students can take practice tests, quizzes, vocabulary builders, and it assesses their strengths and their weaknesses, where they need to improve. So that's a really good resource. So if you sign up for the program, you'll have access to that. And we also have another program that students have access to online as well, where they can take an assessment exam, and then the whole entire SAT program is designed specifically based off of their results from the assessment. So you're given a lot of different tools. A lot of these programs have tutorials and quizzes, and they offer a lot of great resources. So, that's part of our program. And if you need any additional help with the SAT and the ACT, you can definitely, we'll refer you to Scott, and he'll be able to help you. He's excellent with that. We've referred a couple of our clients to him, and he's helped with improving their scores by 100 points or more.
Thank you, Marion.
Okay.
The question comes from Tim. The schools frown upon students that take the SAT multiple times. To answer that question as directly as it's asked, I would say no. They don't frown upon students to take the SAT multiple times. But then, of course, the logical extension to the question becomes, well, what do schools do with multiple scores? These days, most schools, I don't want to say all schools, but the vast majority of schools will select the highest single component score on each time you're taking the test. So for instance, if the first time you or your child takes the SAT and they get 500, 500, 500 in the reading, math, and writing section, and the next time they take the SAT, they get 600, 400, 600. So the highest score from each component would then be 600, 500, 600, and that would create the total score of 1,700. If the score goes down on the subsequent test, that score does typically not get considered by the admissions committee. Is the admissions committee going to see the score? Yes. Does that mean you should talk yourself into being fearful of the fact that they're going to subconsciously consider the lower? No, not really. Every admissions committee is absolutely inundated with thousands of applications every year. They really don't have the time to look that closely into your particular scores. They're just simply going to determine what your top score is and use that as their measuring. As far as what the limit should be, I would say I don't know that there's a limit per se. I would certainly say taking tests up to 3 times is relatively common. So up to the 3rd time, there's no chance of making yourself stand out in any negative way. I don't know. And another thing is each school handles these things individually, but all tend to do the same thing. I would say, what's the limit? I wouldn't say there's a limit. I would say after 3 or 4 times, you've probably done all you can do anyway. What's considered to be a great score? One that would open up my options to all of my schools, of course. Great question, Erica. And again, this is subjective, not objective, but I know you don't want me to top out on your question like that. So I would say at the 800 level, you start to separate yourself from above that average student, or SAT scores, into the premier SAT score range. Anything above 800, 1800 overall, and then you're really, putting your best foot forward, and you can expect that it's only anything above 1900 and over 2000. You're starting to put yourself in the prestigious echelon, as far as just the score alone.
And if I could interject there, as far as the SAT scores, the higher your score, the more scholarship opportunities you'll have as well. So that's a really good thing to try to get your scores as high as possible. I see a question from Tamara. When is the best time to apply for college, before you take the SAT or after? I recommend that you apply after, because what do you say about that, Scott?
Applications. Okay, here's how the process works. The application deadline. I'm not talking about the early admission deadline or anything like that, but the pure application deadline is the point by which all of your applications and all supporting materials must have been received by the university. Okay.
Right.
And so it doesn't necessarily make a difference if you send in your application in May 8th and you retake the SAT in May, and that score gets reported in time, right? Due to the application deadline, then it's okay.
If you're retaking the SAT, but if you're just taking it, the first time you're taking the SAT, they should really have taken the SAT and then apply to college if it's your first time taking it.
Yeah, I would agree, and if
right.
you have a better idea of where you stand. If you do really, really well, like Eric just did, a really high score opens up your options and will make you consider applying to a school that you didn't think you had a chance of getting into. So it certainly makes the overall process more streamlined and more consistent.
Right. This is an interesting question.
Okay, what percentage of SAT test takers actually get perfect scores? I would say a very, very low percentage. A very, very low percentage. Most people tend to be better oriented toward one part of that or the other. Some students, even at age 16, 17, 18, are just pure geniuses. They just, know how to get all this stuff right. The writing part is subjective, graded. Essay part, rather, is graded by 2 individuals, right? So it doesn't matter how perfectly you actually write the essay. It matters how the graders think the essay is in that respect. The percentage of getting perfect scores